everyone. Today we will be reporting the sexual and reproductive health rights, access and advocacy that is divided into two subtopics which consist of subtopic A, the role of men and boys in supporting reproductive health rights, and subtopic B, access to family planning in rural areas, overcoming the cultural and logistical barriers. Next slide please. And for the subtopic A, the role of men and boys in supporting the reproductive health and rights. Did you know that men and boys are important in promoting the reproductive health by sharing the responsibility in family planning and supporting the women's choices? Their involvement helps challenge unfair and gender norms by preventing the violence and build a healthier and more respectful community. Men and boys plays a critical role in promoting the reproductive health and also supporting an equitable decision making in relationships and families. Traditionally, the reproductive health has been seen as a woman's responsibility, but men and boys also play a critical role in their involvement that promotes equality, respect, and healthier families. Next, next slide, please. For the key concepts, terminologies, and ideas, the first one is the men's involvement in reproductive health. For the men's involvement in reproductive health is the active participation and responsibility of men and boys in supporting the sexual and the reproductive health. The services, including the family planning and the maternal health. For the shared responsibility, the joint decisions in family planning is that the concept that men and women jointly make the decisions and share the duties regarding to the reproductive health and family planning for our healthier relationships and community. And for the gender norms, the roles or expectations that shaping the behavior that's shaping the behavior is that the social expectations that often discourage men's participation but must be challenged. The advocacy role, the men and educators and change agents are the ones who can influence the peers and promote equality. For the next topic, can I call on Miss Lisa Guan?
So first, let's talk about the general role of men. Men have a big role in reproductive health, especially in family planning. But many face barriers like limited knowledge, cultural beliefs, and poor communication with their partners. Encouraging dialogue, peer education, and community support can help men share responsibility, leading to healthier families. Here in the Philippines, the Department of Health's Men's Health Program promotes men's participation in reproductive health. It highlights men as equal partners in family planning and challenges the mindset that reproductive health is only for women. In Rwanda, the Men Engage initiative trains men as community advocates. This improved spousal communication and led to increased contraceptive use, showing the positive effect of men's involvement. In India, the United Nations Population Fund, or UNFPA, runs programs through workshops and workplace education to involve men in family planning. These reduce stigma around contraception, encourage men to support maternal health. To summarize examples from the Philippines, Rwanda, and India prove that when men share responsibility in reproductive health, it creates healthier families, stronger relationships, and more gender equality. Let me call the next reporter, please.
Good day everyone. Today I'll be presenting some key figures and charts on male involvement in family planning and reproductive health, both internationally and in the Philippines. These visuals help us understand not only the progress made, but also the gaps that remain in achieving shared responsibility between men and women. For figure 1, Kenya, Let's begin with data from Vihiga Country in Kenya. The findings show that only 12% of men support joint decision making on contraceptive use, while 43% leave the decision entirely to their wives. This highlights a clear imbalance. Men often act as gatekeepers, yet they do not actively engage in family planning. While Kenya's policies strongly encourage male involvement, cultural norms still discourage participation. What this tells us is that policies alone are not enough. Without male education, dialogue, and services tailored for men, these norms will remain unchallenged. Next figure, Philippines. Shifting to the Philippines, the situation is somewhat different. Filipino men are generally knowledgeable about family planning. However, the actual use of male contraceptives remains low. Influenced by cultural and social barriers, current programs are responding to this gap through education campaigns, workplace initiatives, and community outreach. These strategies are designed not only to inform men, but also to empower them as active partners in reproductive health. By doing so, the Philippines is working to promote gender equality and healthier family relationships. Next. Finally, this chart summarizes the core components of male involvement. It highlights four areas: community, educators, and advocates, where men educate peers about family planning; support for partners' health decisions; encouraging and backing contraceptive use; breaking gender barriers, which challenges traditional male and female roles; and shared responsibility, which promotes joint decision making. And for the next reporter, next slide, please.
And for the glossary of terms, we have reproductive health, reproductive rights, men's involvement in reproductive health, shared responsibilities, gender norms. Next slide, please. Male engagement, advocacy, change agents, gender-based violence, and healthy relationships. And may I call on the next reporter?
So moving on the subtopic B, access to family planning in rural areas, overcoming cultural and logistical barriers. Next slide, please. In this part of the report, we focus on how rural communities can gain better access to the family planning services. Many families in the countryside still face serious obstacles, both cultural and practical, that prevent them from making informed choices about when and how to have children. So, family planning simply means giving individuals and couples the freedom to decide if and when to have children. It covers access to contraceptives and complete reproductive health information so people can plan their families safely and responsibly. So, next is cultural barriers. In many rural areas, traditional beliefs favor large families or discourage contraceptive use. Some communities see contraception as against their customs or faith, which makes their families hesitant to seek these services. Next is logistical barriers. Even when people want family planning, they might live far from a health center, have no regular transportation, or face shortages of trained health workers. These practical issues make it hard to get services consistently. And lastly, community engagement is one proven way to address these problems is to involve local leaders and residents. When the community itself helps spread awareness and acceptance, people become more open to modern family planning methods. So for the next reporter, please.
In the local, we have GMA News Family Planning Mobile Clinic The mobile clinic in Luzon provides free contraceptives and counseling in areas with the highest birth rates, like Calabar Zone and Central Luzon. By basing its route on birth data, it aims to lower unplanned pregnancies and maternal deaths. The second one is WHO or DOH Philippine Family Planning Handbook 2023. The handbook highlights that UIDs and implants are the most reliable methods with failure rates below 1%. It encourages promoting these acting options, especially in rural areas, to effectively reduce unintended pregnancies. The third one is the International Study of Family Planning Access. The study shows that community-based outreach can increase modern contraceptive use by 10 to 15% within 2 years. This proves that bringing services directly to households is more effective than relying only on clinics. And the last one is the community-based access to injectables. In Kenya, training community health workers to provide injectables almost doubled contraceptive users in 1 year. This demonstrates how task shifting can expand access in underserved rural areas. Next, please.
Okay, first, as you can see, this is the before versus after outreach graph shows the direct impact of intervention. Here we can see a clear increase in contraceptive prevalence after outreach programs were implemented. This emphasizes the effectiveness of education efforts and home visits in encouraging more families to adopt family planning methods. Next slide, please. Let's look at the chart on the Philippines regional share of 2022 live births. As we can see, Calabarzon recorded the highest share at 14.1%, followed by the National Capital Region and Central Luzon. This information is important because it tells us which regions have the highest birth rates and in return, where family planning services should be prioritized. Next slide, please. Finally, let's look at the international injectable client growth chart. This figure shows the steady monthly growth in the number of women choosing injectable contraceptives after community health worker programs were introduced. It clearly illustrates how local outreach has played a key role in increasing demand for family planning services. May I call the next reporter, please?
So for this part, we included a quick glossary so readers can easily follow key terms like family planning, contraception, cultural barriers, logistical barriers, community engagement. Next, please. Mobile clinic, long-acting reversible contraceptives, outreach program, reproductive health, and maternity health outcomes. Next. So that wraps up our report on expanding access to family planning in rural communities. We've seen how cultural traditions and everyday logistical hurdles can limit choices for many families, but we've also highlighted clear examples like the mobile clinics here in the Philippines and successful community programs abroad that prove these barriers can be overcome. The next step is sustaining these efforts, consistent education, reliable contraceptive supplies, and strong community participation. When these pieces come together, family planning becomes not just a policy goal, but a lived reality for everyone. So I appreciate your time and attention, and I'd be glad to hear your thoughts or any questions may have. That's all. Thank you.